And here we go. Welcome back to my little vape journey, and thought I'll let you in onto something which I bought maybe 2 weeks ago. Some of you might know I like MTL. I'm a huge MTL fan. I like my big chunking, cloud chucking. Not really cloud chucking, not competition cloud chucking, but I like stuff which chucks clouds as well, like this little beast over here, the Juggernaut. I like that as much, but I also like my Mouth to Lung. Vape it on a slightly higher nicotine, and that is the reason I had a look at this one, which is the MD. Let's get a bit closer here. Here you go. It's the MD RTA, and actually walked into a vape shop which we in South Africa we weren't able to do for months and months since this whole Corona situation hit us, and now I was able to, and they had these, and I said, oh, Bloomers. I looked at those for a while, and I saw a couple of reviews, and I read a couple of reviews, and this is supposed to be a decent Mouth to Lung atomizer. So I thought, well, is it? Is it really? I thought maybe let's buy one and let's have a look at it. So I bought one. We're gonna have a look at it, and I'll tell you what I think about it. See you down below. And here we are with the Hellvape MD RTA Mouth to Lung. Just got this. Yeesh. Let's open this up. Here we go. Get rid of the plastic, get the box open. There's the lid, just has this lid on there on the side. Gives you an idea of the airflows. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Hellvape. This one is in gunmetal purple, as you can see. And Hellvape again, just in case you didn't know, this atomizer comes from Hellvape. And that's in the box, so it comes with a goodies box here. Let's have a look what this is all about, which is really in here. There we go. Let's try to get it out. Here we go, we got it out. There's the goodies box. Let's see what is the easiest way to open this up without destroying everything. Probably that way. Here we go. Plastic bags of goodies. Well, to start with, it comes with a bubble tank, telephone, plastic baggie. That's very nice. So if you want to increase your capacity, not quite sure what the capacity of this is, to be quite honest. Then it comes with a bag of things, and what is in this bag? Hell no, I don't know. And there I dropped stuff onto the floor already. And a couple more O-rings here. Let's see if I can see what I dropped onto the floor. Ah, that was a grub screw. So it comes with a couple of grub screws. It comes with 2 coils. One of them is 1.2, one of them is 0.8, if I remember correctly. Let's see what the back of the package tells us. Oh, come on. Here we go. 0.7 and 1.2 pre-pulled coil. Now, which is which? They both seem to be Claptons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraps. One seems to be denser than the other, to be looser. Well, I put this one in and we will see which one it is. Right, it comes with a myriad of of O-rings, all different sizes and shapes. As I always do, big ones, small ones. Yeah. We've talked about this. It comes with this, which is very interesting. What is this? This is an airflow control, which you can enter into the base. We'll have a look at that in a second. And it comes with a short, stubby drip tip. Looks like any other 510. Exception is this little nipple down there, this little extension. I will tell you what that is all about in a minute. Here we go. So that is what in one plastic bag, and in the other plastic bag we have a screwdriver. So we call it a Barbie screwdriver, flat screwdriver, and that's it. Right. Then let's see what is underneath. We have a Hellvape sticker. You get that many stickers, and you have a user manual, quite hefty. Well, the reason it is too hefty, I see it in at least 8 different languages, if not more. But yeah, it seems to be, takes the thing apart. Explosionszeichnung, here we go, there's the German version. So it seems to be good enough to help you identify every single part. If you need to change something, change an O-ring, anything else, get a new glass, you know exactly. And that's it, box is empty. And then obviously we come to the star of the show, which is the gunmetal purple Hellvape MD. There you go. If you see around, it has just MD on the chimney, and that's it. At the bottom we have MD RTA, don't vape in a bin, Hellvape, and that's about it. So let's start from the top. It comes with this 510 drip tip, also 520 drip tip, and it has this little extension at the bottom. And then we have a sliding top fill. See, that's the back side. So you can see that it slides in these grooves, and here we have an arrow, so you can slide it open, you can fill it, and you can then slide it closed. I don't like sliding tops if they cannot be secured. This one, and this is why you have this little extension at the mouthpiece. If you put that in, it doesn't open up, it's secured. Thumbs up, like that a lot. Right, then let's open this up here. Dry O-rings, I can feel it, it's really closed. Right, and then how difficult it is to take the glass off. What you do, you put your finger inside your chimney, and then with your mouth you start working the glass off. And with time it will then just slowly come off. I'm not going to do that now because I leave that glass. I like the straight glass, I like the look of the straight glass. And you see it has a bit of a diagonal coning here at the top. Looks very nicely finished. That's the top part. And then obviously we come to the interesting part. Let's get it. Etty stand here. Zoom this in a bit with my manual zoom. Here we go, and there you have the deck. Yeah, it's not stainless steel. I would have preferred it in stainless steel. I like the coloring so much on the outside, so I got it like that. Then you have the airflow control, and that is actually the interesting part of the whole thing, because what you can do, you can have it like that, or you can turn it, and then you have it like that. which is how I will use it, because I like it tight mouth to lung. So how does it do that? Let's just take it out for a minute here. There we go. So you see there's the air hole here at the bottom. That's where the air comes in from the outside, and we'll have a look at the air holes just now. And then it comes up, and then it gets restricted by these inserts. So these are the different inserts. That's the one it comes with, and this is a more open one, if you are a mouth to lung vapor who likes more of an open draw. I like it nice and close, so I'll put it in with the holes. And if it is too close, I will just change it. So let's pop it back in again. Here we go. Have it in. And then you get your coils in here. You have these slot screws, which I'm not a fan of. I might have mentioned that once or twice, or maybe a couple of 100 times, but that's what it is. And then obviously we have the coil, which is then just pop in here into the holes. Just shout when I'm off camera again, it happens to me all the time. So that's really easy to install. You just make sure it's kind of over the airflow, and then just screw it in. So coil installation couldn't be any easier, could it? Right. Let's get a coil manipulation tool of sorts. Let's see what we have here. Anything will do. Right, here we go. Seems to be around about 2 millimeters, huh? Between 2 and 2.5 millimeters. Do they say at the back how big it is? No, they don't. They just say the ohms. Also don't say on the package. So that's not good. I always like to know what is the diameter of my coils. What did I have in here? What is it all about? Here we go. Let's see, it's still a bit on the skew side. We don't want that. Let's come in from that side. Seems to be around about 2.5. The 2.5 nearly goes in. Yeah, working this around the camera. Always a bit over. Always a bit. Let me get this closer to my eyes here. I can actually see what I'm doing. So sorry guys that I'm off camera. This time it is planned so. Yeah, it's 2.5 millimeters diameter. And I have it around about 1 millimeter over the air holes. So here we go. Gives you kind of an idea of the positioning. And then again from the top. So that's where it's in. Let's give it another tighten. Let's cut off the leads at the back. One, two. So there's a bit of space to the side walls, so you don't need to be super anal about if it is 100% flush, because it will not easily and immediately hit the chip. So that's very good, I like that. Right, and let's just unscrew this from the Etty stand. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Right, there's the airflow, by the way, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Let's just pop this on a mod. I'm having the few picks here. Right, airflow control is as follows. We have wide open, and then the holes become smaller and smaller, and then till you get to the garden hose golf ball stage. Right, and then you can obviously open it up again. Well, I guess if you have the small airflow insert in like I have, even if you put it open like that, there's only a certain amount of air which will actually come through that air hole. Right, time to put a little bit of cotton in here. I think what I have here might be just a little bit too thick for a 2.5 millimeter. Don't know. Let's see what we're having here. And let's put it in. Let's see. We get too much resistance. Seems to be fine. Here we go. Perfect, actually. Right. Then with this one, I cut it round about here, which is more or less the end of the deck itself. So I kind of let the scissors rest on that O-ring. I cut it here. There we go. Oh, if I was off camera again, which I probably was. So I have the scissors and I let them rest on this O-ring here at the bottom, and then I cut it there. So that's where I cut it. Right. Then we'll fluff this up a little. Look at the air holes. They are right over here. So you kind of do the semi-dam method. So you put the cotton in here, but it shouldn't be, you know, filling everything up right up to the brim. So we just put the cotton and work it towards the coil. And when you do that, the cotton then will kind of fall in by itself. You feel resistance, you stop. Here we go. Now this might be actually too much cotton here. Put it on the other side. Let's see what it looks like. Again, just from the bottom, put the cotton in here, let it go in, nice and fluffy. So let's hope that's not too much cotton. I will let you know when I go upstairs. And remember, you will only see the upstairs once I have vaped on this for a little bit. Right. I can tell you exactly if my wicking worked or not. It's nice and fluffy. It's very loose. It's not. Remember what I forgot? Yeah, you remember? Yeah, I do too. Right, we had this cotton in here. That worked very nicely. We haven't burned out the coil. Right, let's do this. Let's burn out the coil. We are at 12 volt. That might not quite be enough. Oh, it actually is. Here we go. Give it a rake or two. Give it another rake or two. Burning from the inside out. Coil comes out at 0.54. Now that's low. That's really low. Let's unscrew that and screw it back on. See if that changes. 0.72. So this one. This is more realistic. So it comes out at 0.72, 0.71. So as I said, it should be around about 0.7. So now we need to take a new piece of cotton. Of course we can. Now this one might really be a little bit too thick. It is, it just is. Let's take off a little bit here. Let's try again. Here we go, that's better. Right, now we have learned from the first time the cotton might have been a bit long, so I cut it now, put the scissors on this ring here, not too short, right about here. Same here, right about here. Here we go. So as a guide I have taken this ring over here. Okay. Always nice to have a bit of a guide. Fluff that up. Do the same trick. Put the cotton in here. Towards the coil so that it closes up the top part. Same here. Just move it towards the coil from the bottom. Here we go, and there we see it a little bit. You see a little, oh okay, I was off camera again, here we go. You see a little bit of cotton here, that I think that's all right. Remember, cotton expands, it really does. On that side, let's get a bit closer. See a little bit of cotton there. Here we go, that's it. That's all we need to do. Right, well, obviously it's not all we need to do. We need to put some juice on. Put some, put on some berry cheesecake, cheesy goodness. Here you go. Just paint that, make sure. Right, paint the cotton, just make sure we tidying this up a little bit. This goes in. Same on this side. And that's it. Right, take it off, put the top on. Wiggle it over the cotton. Just reverse it till we find the start of the thread, and then it actually goes on quite sweetly. And we take the top cap off, we find the arrow, which is right over here. And we fill it up with some juice. That actually takes a fair amount. Actually not quite sure about the amount of juice it takes. So sorry, I cannot give you exact data on that. And let's see if they say anything about it at the back. I can read it much better. 2 mil or 4 mil. All right. So it says it's 2 mil, but it feels more than 2 mil. And 4 mil with the bubble tank. Well, here you go. Right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Hellvape MD mouth to lung RTA. It's wicked up, juiced up, and ready to go. And we will go upstairs. Hey, is this going on? Yeah, it is. We will go upstairs and we'll talk about it a little. Cheers. And here we go. We are back upstairs. Maybe 10 days later. And here it is. I have the MD now on my old and trusted iJoy TC7060W, which I bought 2017, 2016, around about there. Anyway, this is a normal single battery 18650 and ideal for how I use this, because I have made a couple of changes. That coil you saw me put in there, and the way I put in, let me adjust this a little. The way I put in the cotton didn't work out for me. So I said, because I use it as a mouth to lung with the smallest air hole configuration, which you saw down there, all this airflow configuration which you can put in here, I put in a 28 gauge kettle and use it as a real true mouth to lung. And does it work? Hell yeah, it does. Oh, it works a treat. And the flavor. Yeah, in the mouth to lung realm, guys, there still is a lot of space for the simple microcoil. There really is. Also, as far as the wicking goes, I made a couple of changes. I didn't use the dam method. I let a couple of things go through. Because it is mouth to lung, you're not gonna, cut it off. Obviously, you still can't hose your stuff in and block the juice flow, but you certainly can use a little longer cotton than what I have used, and it will go up into your coil. That works very, very well. There are very few no's on this one. As far as mouth to lung goes, this is now my go-to operator. It really is. I have now two. The Emmet mouth to lung has been relegated to shelf service. I'm afraid to say so, but it is shelf service. So the only two mouth to lungs I'm using is the Anani, Osmotis Anani, which obviously doesn't have airflow which you can regulate. I use these for my tobaccos. And then this one, the Hellvape MD RTA, and for a affordable piece of equipment, which is what it is mainstream. It is a very, very good mouth to lung, and I never had my hands on a high-end mouth to lung. It would be interesting to see how the angels from heaven come down on me and open my eyes. But in the meantime, this is really doing the trick. It's working very, very well. And if you don't have $200 or $150 or 2,000 or 3,000 rand to spend on an RTA, especially on a mouth to lung RTA, this certainly is the way to go. I like the mouthpiece. The sliding top works for me because I do not like sliding tops. This particular one I don't have that much of an issue with because it's secured because of this little nipple it has here on. It's probably asked too much to zoom in on that. So maybe yes, the opening is a bit tiny here. So when you fill in carefully, otherwise it might all come back to you. That's obviously we don't want. That's the problem when you have a smaller opening, but it's just a 2 milliliter tank. So for a 2 milliliter tank, it doesn't take you too long. Obviously you could put the bubble glass on. I didn't see the need to do that because it's a mouth to lung tank, and you don't run through juice like you do with a dual core, quadruple Clapton. It's just a mouth to lung atomizer. And for that, it's perfect. It comes out at 1.1 ohm. Here we go. Let's find the camera. Hey, can you do it? Come on, come on. Hey, it can do it. Look at that. Yeah, it's 1.11 ohm, 16 watts, and this is how I rock the thing, and it works perfectly well. I really love it. So if you're in the market for a mouse to lung atomizer, which doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, which is affordable, I bought that 2 weeks ago in a shop here in Cape Town. Go for it. And this is for a mouse to lung connoisseur, this is the one to go for. If you like it wide open, well, you saw all the airflow option. You can go as wide open as you want to. Will it do direct lung? Very restrictive, very restrictive. I say it does a very open mouth to lung, but yeah, obviously the borders between that, they are, always very difficult to judge. So I would say it's a mouth to lung atomizer. That's what it's made for. That's what it's designed for. That's what it should be used for. There's an atomizer which might do both pretty well, and I have a look at that in a week or two. I'll tell you more about that. But as far as mouse to lung goes, this is my best one. Has put the Emmet on the shelf, and I certainly can recommend it. It is this one, and no, I do not get to send my stuff. I buy my stuff myself, so I did. This was not sent to me by Hellvape. Nothing gets sent to me by nobody, and it is very nice. I really can recommend it. Yes, I bought a couple of that Carfaro Mini Anybody or any of these others which have been relegated to permanent shelf duties, but this particular one, I can see this one running in my rotation for a long time. Well, that's it. I think it was a bit of a gush fest. Well, there you go. It has to happen sometimes. Thanks very much for popping in. Greetings from Cape Town, and I'll see you guys next week or the week thereafter. Cheers.